good morning. We're going to sit on the edge of the chair. We're going to place our pelvis right on the edge, feeling the two sitting bones. And we're going to warm up a little bit by circling, making circle with the hip, with the spine, with the head, like a conus of an ice cream. So it's a little bit narrower on the bottom and a little wider on the top. And notice if you're breathing smoothly, uninterruptedly. Notice if the ribs are apart. Notice your shoulders. And start coming to the here and now as we are twirling around and around and around. Does it feel different on both sitting bones? And make it smaller. Make it so small that it's around the spine itself, around the vertebrae. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And see what you can notice when you're doing tiny little circles. See if you can have an image of spiraling up your spine. Spiraling up and up and up. And until you get really quiet at the top. And now we're going to start spiraling the other direction. If you went clockwise, go counterclockwise. And we're using it as a warm-up, but also as a doorway to start paying attention to how the body does what we're asking it to do. And then if we want to make some changes or add some things or maybe take away some tension that's not needed, then we have the awareness to do so. So here in Florida, spring is in full bloom. The trees are blooming, flowers on the fruit trees. And the oaks are blooming too. So some of us are blowing our nose and having allergies, and some of us are just marveling with the beauty of nature. Is your circle round? Is your conus round at the top? Are you circling on the sitting bones in the same way on the right and on the left? And now we're going to go and slow down and get it smaller. And we're going to circle around the spine itself, the vertebrae. And we're going to vision or image it going spiraling up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Until you come to a quiet place. And then round the spine and lift and look up. And round the spine and come back to sitting on your sitting bones, lifting the spine, lifting the sternum and the collarbone and look up. And round and find the sitting bones and keep on coming up and round. Allow the arms to float and down. Okay, so now we're going to put the hands on the knees And we're going to keep on, as we're rounding up, our arms are coming up, and we are coming into 90 degrees. The hands are on the knees, and we're lifting and round, and allow the arms to float and come back to 90. Find your sitting bones, lift the spine, lift the head, and round. Allow the arms to float and up and look and round. Allow the arms to float and see if you can let the arm float without actually lifting them as an exercise. And lift and look up. So this is the time to round the back and allow the arms to float just to where it's comfortable with a rounded back. And as you come up, the hands are falling on the knees and you're lifting your spine. And come back to center. And now we're going to round the back in a different place. So go ahead and put your fingers underneath your knee cap and round the back without letting the arm come up. And lift the spine and look up. Fingers are hooked underneath the patella, don't let them move. Round and up. And round, the whole spine is rounding as much as you can let it round, shoulders, mid, lower back, and inhale and look up. And a little faster, round and inhale. And round, exhale and lift, inhale. And round, exhale. And up, inhale, and round, exhale, and come to center. Wonderful. Pa-pam, 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 pam, pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. We are going to bring the right leg a little bit more forward and interlace your fingers underneath and lift the leg and round your back and lower the leg and lift your spine and round your back, lift the leg and lower the leg and lift the spine and round and lift and round and lift and the whole spine and with the leg. And if you want to do a little bit harder, when you lower the leg, try to lengthen it and maybe even flex it and round, become like a tiny little ball, and expand the back and expand the leg and round, exhale and inhale, and you're getting the spine longer and the leg longer, and exhale and become like a little ball and inhale out and one more time, out, and relax it. Take your hands, move them to the left leg, and lift your left leg, and we're rounding to a tiny little ball. And extend. And round while you exhale. And expand the spine and the leg. And the arm as well, right? And round and out. And you don't have to send the leg all the way. Do as much as you feel that your body is ready for this morning. And round and out. And round and relax. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Inhale. Roll your shoulders back and down and rest. Imagine that your spine starts all the way at the base of your spine and come up and all the way to the very top of your neck, entering the bones of the head, the occipits, in with the first and second vertebra. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make tiny little circle with the very, very top of the head. No more, not bigger than a dollar coin. A little bit bigger than 25 cents. So about in less than an inch. Circle and circle and circle with the very top of the head. I will invite you to close your eyes so you can focus a little bit more inward and feel it, sense it, and see if you can sense how far down the spine that movement goes. And does it balance you? Does it work on your posture? Can you sense that spiral that we did earlier? And I want to invite you to see a picture in your mind as if you are in a circus and you are the guy that has a long stick above the head with a plate sitting on the top of the plate, on the top of the stick, and you're trying to balance that plate by circling tiny little circles. Where would your chin be? Where would your nose be? Where would the vertebrae of your neck be? And quiet it down. And take a breath in and out. And change the direction of the circle. Can you balance the plate going in the opposite direction? Can you quiet the nervous system and organize your muscles that you can circle and circle, and are those circles round? Because if they're not completely round, the plate would fall. And rest in the center. And with your eyes still shut, if they are, take another breath in. Exhale. And you can stay with your eyes closed and notice where your shoulders are in relationship to your ears. And allow the shoulders to slump forward a little bit, by having the hands fall in between the legs. And then glide your hands outside your thighs and allow your shoulders to open up. So the hands are going in between the thighs and the shoulders follow, and the hands are coming out and the hands follow. And in with the shoulders and out with the shoulders. And keep your hands now on the side of your thigh, let them hang, you can open your eyes, and continue rounding the shoulder in and turning the shoulder out by rotating the full arm and forearm and hand, but without guiding it over the thighs. And as you're moving the shoulders forward and back, notice if your head goes with it forward and with it back. So let's allow it actually. When you bring your shoulder in, allow your head to slump in a little bit, just a little bit, itsy bitsy, like 1/4 of an inch maybe. And as you roll the shoulder back, see if you can bring your head to be aligned where you can circle the plate up, up, up above, close to the ceiling. And roll the shoulders in and allow your eyes to go down and your nose to go down. And try to circle your plate there. No way, right? It folds. Bring your shoulders back to align it with actually the second vertebra, but let's say the ear. And suddenly there is a room for us to play with a plate, to circle it and balance it. And let's do it again. Shoulders in, allow the head just to get out of alignment a little bit, and then bring the shoulders back and bring the head back to alignment. Now bring the shoulders back and bring your head forward, and bring your shoulders forward and your head up, back, and bring your shoulders back and the head forward. An easy movement. Don't go all to the way to the end. It's not like an exercise. It's just roll your shoulders and lift your head. Some of us do that, right? Do you know people do that? And they have like a huge curve here. So we're trying to find where should we be when the shoulders are forward and the head back. That doesn't really work for turning the plate, because the plate will fall behind us. And when the shoulders are back and the head forward, we also cannot turn the plate. The head will slide forward. Let's try it again. Shoulders forward and head back. And shoulders back and the head forward. Let's try to find where the shoulders are right underneath our ears, and try to find that quiet place where you can balance and rotate that plate on a long, long stick. And try the other direction. Is one direction easier than the other? For me, it's very clear which one works. Okay, let it go. Take a deep breath in. We concentrated for a minute and inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Imagine that there is a rubber band attached from your ear to the middle of your shoulder. And go ahead and stretch the rubber band and shorten the rubber band. And stretch the rubber band. And so if I were to say, do an exercise, and I would say bring the shoulder and the head closer to one another, I would use big muscles and I would not have the awareness that I have when I say, this is a rubber band. and I'm only stretching the rubber band and shortening the rubber band and stretching the rubber band, it's a completely different feeling. So then later, if I do want to make it larger, I can maybe put 2 rubber bands and let it shrink a little bit more, and maybe it has the strength to lengthen a little bit more. Do you feel it going down your arm? Do you feel it all the way to your fingertips? What are your eyes doing? And is the shoulder and the ear aligned? Now that we found the relationship that allows us to balance on the bones rather than on muscles, with the image of the long stick and the plate, that was to bring us closer to work with our nervous system and the bone rather than use muscle to hold us. So now we're going to rest. I think I kind of did something else while I was talking. So just pay attention to the side that shrunk and extended, to the side that we didn't put the awareness towards. And now we're going to put the awareness on the left side. We're going to connect an imaginary elastic line between the shoulder and the ear, and we're going to make the rubber band get smaller, and we're going to let the rubber band get longer. Try to find the comfort and the ease. Shoulder and head are going away from one another and towards one another, but only when you see in your mind's eye the elastic bands. And now you can add another elastic band, and the movement may be a little bit larger. The range can increase when you have 2 rubber bands, pulling and stretching. And pulling and stretching. Pulling and stretching. And one more time. And come back to the center. Put your hands on your thighs. Sorry. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. One more time. Pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Lower the arms again, and now we're going to lower the shoulder and the head at the same time, and we're going to lift them at the same time. And we're going to lower both the head and the shoulder, and we're going to lift the shoulder and the head. And we're going to lower the head and the shoulder. And we're going to lift both. And we're going to lower both. And we're going to lift both. Are you keeping your eyes and your nose forward? Or you're allowing your head to tilt? You want to keep the relationship between the ear and the shoulder, right? And center. And take a minute to feel it, and rest, and breathe. And then lower your arms, and we're going to lower the shoulder, the left shoulder and the head. And we're going to lift the left shoulder and the head. And we're going to lower the left, and we're going to lift the left side. And lower both head and shoulder and lift head and shoulder, and lower head and shoulder and lift head and shoulder, and lower and lift and lower and center, and put your hands on your thigh and take a breath. And roll your shoulders in without moving the head, and roll your shoulders out without moving the head. So where your eyes are looking, keep on looking at the same spot, and use the back to round underneath the neck and the head. Keep the eyes on the horizon, on your horizon. And round and extend the back, and bring the arm forward in between the legs and bring the arm back, and make the movement of the arm bigger, but don't lower your eyes and the head. Keep them on the horizon when the back is doing the movement, but not the head and the neck. Keep the eyes, stay on the same spot, and now allow the eyes and the head to roll, and allow the eyes and the head to move, and the whole spine, and head and neck, and make the arm movement bigger, and breathe in, and let it go, and breathe in, and let it go, and breathe in, and let it go, and last time, breathe in, and shake your shoulders. Take a minute to observe. Feel the space between your shoulder and the head. And go on to your day with proud, high head. All right.